Well, if you couldn't tell, I have a big door on some sawhorses here, and I have another door right there. When I came across these two doors, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make a new outdoor table. So that's what I'm going to try to do in today's DIY Wednesday This Is Real Life video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and today we are back in the garage. It's kind of hot out right now. If I stand outside of the garage, there's a nice breeze, but like inside of the garage where there's no breeze blowing, it's kind of sweaty. But I'm out here today because I have an exciting new DIY for us to do. What is it? Well, if you couldn't tell, I have a big door on some sawhorses here, and I have another door right there. I got these doors for free. Yep, you know me. I try not to pay for stuff if I don't have to. Why do we have these doors here? Well, in my backyard, for like my patio table, I have my mom's old oak dining room table that I have painted and then stripped and then stained, and it's been in the backyard for probably a good, I'm gonna go with 10 years. It is not an outdoor table. That doesn't bother me, but over the 7 to 10 years, the weather, whatnot, even though it's kind of under an overhang, you know, rain and stuff still gets on it in the winter. It's not like I go out there and cover it up. So when I came across these two doors, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make a new outdoor table. So that's what I'm going to try to do in today's DIY Wednesday This Is Real Life video. So my original plan in my head is I have the two doors, and I really wanted to use the two doors. I don't want to put them together per se permanently in a big square because my patio area, I could accommodate it, but then would people be able to walk around all the time? But I do want to have the option of a big square. So what I was thinking is that, see these hinges? Ooh, this one's a snap hinge. Okay, that one might not work, but this one's not. What I was thinking is I'd lay them on top of each other, hinge them together, and then that way it would just be a skinny rectangle for the majority of the days in the backyard. But then if we were hosting like 4th of July and we needed more area for food and whatnot, I could open the door, boom, and it would become a big square, giving us some more space. I'm hoping that works. So if they were together, the hinges would be up like so. This one's really hard. I might have to switch the hinges, even though they're rusty and cool and I'd like to reuse them. So the hinges would be up like this, and then when I open them, boom, they'd be closed. I would have these little bumps of hinges down the middle, but that wouldn't bother me. That is the plan that's in my head. Will that plan work? We don't know. You know, that's how we roll. But what I do know is the first step is I have to clean these puppies up. This door for some reason has some weird screws sticking out of it here and on that end. And then it also has nails that were like nailed in just a little bit and then bent over. I want to take out the doorknob here, but I don't know if you can tell on that one, it has a cute like wavy door handle, which if I can put them down like this, I do want to leave a handle showing so I can open the door, but we don't really know if that's gonna work or not. That's just what's in my head. So I'm going to take out all the screws, all the nails, and then I'm going to sand both sides of this door. I'm gonna take out this hardware. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I got my drill, this decorative trim right here. I need this off because I want it flat. Hopefully they just come out great. They look hells rusty, so I'm hoping they come out easy. Ooh, that one did. Let's not count our chickens before they're hatched, because just because these come out easy doesn't mean the rest will. Okay, so this is off. Done with that. And now that's flush. I am gonna take off the hinges just so that it makes it easier for me to sand, but I'm gonna save them. Ugh. Man, this one's really spring-loaded. And you know, if you don't happen to have, if you don't happen to have an electric one of these, you can definitely do it with just a hand screwdriver, but that would take a lot of time. cordless drills or corded drills or whatever kind of drill. I don't think they're that expensive. This one's DeWalt. I don't know where I got it. Not sponsored. If you do have battery operated ones, cordless, as the professionals call them. I have two. You never know when this battery is gonna run out, and so then you have your backup one with the battery on the charger, and then switch. When one runs out, you grab the other one. So you've always got a fresh one. So yeah, I'm gonna take out all the screws and the nails. All the screws, I think, are out of this side. So next I'm going to tackle these nails with just my hammer. I've taken off the hinges. I took the screws out of the door chingaderas, but not exactly sure how to get the knob parts off. I might have to flip it. So next, those weird nails that are right there. I don't know why they're there. But again, these doors were free, so who the hell knows? Oh, ooh. Rusty nail number 1. There's a lot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rusty nails. Sweet. Ugh. 10 rusty nails. Okay, now that pretty much every screw and nail and anything that is poking out is out of this side of the door, the next step is to take these out. I looked underneath of this one, and where you would think that there are 2 screws holding the other side in, there aren't any. They're missing. So what I'm hoping is I'll just take off the little metal thing on the side where the door thing is, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'll be able to get them out from this side. Let's see. Let's get a screwdriver. No. I got the babyest of screwdrivers. It's like an eyeglass screwdriver. It's moving, but it's not popping off. Why? Let's try this one. Okay, that one popped right off, except for the thing is stuck. Oh, what's happening? We don't know. We don't know what's happening. So I pried this little gold thing. It was shoved in there, so I pried it out, but nothing's happening. And then I was able to turn it, but yet nothing happening. Here's the locking thing underneath, and there are no screws under here. I don't know how to do it. In my mind, this little gold flat piece should just come right out. And then this flat piece, it looks like it's budging, but I can't get it out. I'm gonna have to force it. I have a feeling. Let's get a hammer. Oh, I see movement. Okay, here we go. Something's happening. Let's see. I'm bending it. I don't know why these little gold pieces are stuck. I mean, you can clearly see it wants to come off. My mom always says don't force things, but in this instance, I don't think I have a choice. Seriously, I think I've put a doorknob in my actual real door, and it was not like this at all. Oh, we're getting it now. I mean, if it takes me all GD night, it's gonna come out. Oh, what's happening? I just don't understand why. And how do you get the damn door handle off? I may have had a breakthrough on this doorknob. Remember how I was like, oh, and usually there are screws up holding the doorknob in, and I didn't see any? Well, that's because this little decorative covering on this other side was twisted, so it was covering up the actual screws. So I'm gonna take them out. Aha. Ah. Oh my, I have to literally get under the table. I can't see, and it's not a table yet, it's a door. Aren't you coming out? Oh, there we go. Okay, magic is happening. We got this off. Now this should just lift right out, right? Yes. And now this whole thing should... The key is you got to take the handles out before you can get this piece out. Now I have to figure out where the screws are for this, because I do not see them under or here unless this unscrews or something like that. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm refusing to Google this. I can figure this out. So curiously enough, this top one spins. It's not a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. But I don't know if you can see, I peeled back, you know, and it unveiled a screw. I know that's panicking your voice right now because you think I'm stripping my drill screw thing, and I probably am, but sacrifices, people. Okay, it doesn't want to come out anymore. Oh! There's one. Now, if I turn it like that, oh yes. Aha! I got it! Oh, thank the Lord. And then the boom. And yes! I'm so excited. Okay, so the point of that story was never give up, never surrender, because we took out this old rusty hardware. But you see how cute this handle is? I love it. I like to reuse it if I do end up stacking the doors, so I can use it to open them to make it into a big table. And the mosquitoes are in rare form, so if you see me itching myself all over, it's because mosquitoes are biting me like I have the sweet honey blood. So next, we're gonna sand it, and then I'm gonna flip it over, and then I'm gonna sand it on the other side, and then do everything repeat on that door over there. I have collected all of my hardware and put it in this little basket, and I saved everything. The only thing I did not save, the rusty nails. Those got thrown in the garbage, but all the other hardware is right in this basket. And now we're going to sand. This is 80 grit. I'm gonna put it on my trusty sander, and we're just gonna sand both sides of this and call it a day. When we finally decide to finish this, I will sand it with a smoother, finer sandpaper, but for now, just trying to clean it up a little. The top is pretty sanded, pretty nicely. I wasn't trying to go down to like the bare wood or anything because you know me, I like my stuff to look like the stuff that it was. On the edges, I just basically stuck the edge of my sander in, try to get those as smooth as possible. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Now we have to flip it and do the other side. These doors are heavy, so I got some help flipping it, and this side is real bad. There are 2 rogue screws that I did not see. So we're gonna take those puppies out. And now, I'm just gonna sand it again. I actually like the way this side turned out a little bit better. I feel like this was the side of the door that was facing the outside, like the weather, if you will, because there was a lot of crusty mud in here, and as I got to sanding, it kind of smelled like old seawater, if that makes any sense at all. If you don't have any doors, you know you can get old doors at like, oh my God, that was a mosquito. You know you can get old doors at like if you have a reuse it store. I don't know if they're really called a store, but you know, I would not go to an antique store and buy a door because they mark these puppies up. Don't go antiquing for doors. Go to like a reuse it or on the side of the road or the junkyard. They might not look this old. Your door that you find might not have a glass center, might be just solid wood. That's fine. As long as it's a door and you're giving it a new life as a table outside, I say we're good. This door is pretty much prepped and ready to go for the next step, but I need to get that door prepped and ready to go. I still want to see if I can do the whole open door thing because I think that would be amazing. So I'm gonna put that door on these sawhorses, do the same thing I just did, but again. So here is door number 2. What's behind it? Bunch of screws and dirt. Except for this one will go much faster because we already know how to take the handle off and I can see the screws right there. And then I just need to take the hinges off. Get these weird screws that are kind of poking out in places. It does have a few staples, which is weird. But yeah, this one should go much faster. Houston, we have a problem. This door handle right here is decorative. Where the handle is exactly where the screw is. I'm thinking I might have to hammer it. So I have my hammer. I'm just trying to move the handle so I can get to the screw. Whoever thought of this, you know, design, dumb. Why did someone do this? Okay, that came off. That doesn't help me. I need the handle to move. Maybe I've moved it enough? Nope. There's got to be an easier way. And I'm sure somebody out there is going, this is how you do it. This is exactly how you do it. I'm gonna try to pry this. Aha. When in doubt, just pry it out. Haha. Thankfully, the screw was rusty enough and the wood was weathered enough that I just pried the whole handle right off. Oh my God, can you say West Nile? There are so many mosquitoes. I don't have any off, but I did have some wasp killer and I sprayed it in my garage and the mosquitoes didn't care. There's one on me right now. Oh my God, he ate so much blood that when I smashed him, I got blood on me. That's disgusting. I have West Nile virus right now. I might have to go get off. I can't handle it. It's driving me crazy. Before I sand this, I'm gonna go get some off and some citronella candles, and I'm just gonna fill this whole garage with citronella candles and spray my whole body in off. Okay, so seriously, I have so many mosquito bites. I'm gonna spray myself down and then we're gonna finish, like they're on my feet. I don't live next to standing water, for Pete's sakes. It's a neighborhood. It's cement. I don't know where all these mosquitoes are coming from. That would have about. I don't know what's going on, but we gotta hurry up and sand this so I can be done and go inside. I will tell you what. God bless a palm sander. If you don't have one of these, they're not expensive. I could not imagine having to hand sand both sides of both of these doors. That would just have been a shit show. I wouldn't have done it. If you don't have a palm sander, you should get yourself one. Not sponsored by Black & Decker. You know I bought this myself. I'm just saying, it gets the job done pretty fast. And since this side of the door had a lot more of its like original stain on it, I like the way this one turned out. Like I was thinking that one was my favorite, but I think this side is my favorite. So if I only end up using one door, this is gonna be the one and this is gonna be the top. But considering we don't exactly know what the plan is, it's gonna be a surprise to both of us. But for tonight, we're cleaning up and we're going to sleep. I'm definitely not mosquito bite free. I probably have 7,000 of them on my legs and my arms and my neck. But that's okay. It's all in the name of DIY Wednesday. And this project is gonna be just as amazing as all of the other ones, mosquito bites and all. Okay, so it is day 2, and don't you worry, I have completely sprayed myself down and I'm ready to go. So what I wanna do now is take that door and lay it on top of this door so I could hinge the two doors together. However, that door and this door are really fucking heavy. I know Davis is on his way home because I'm home alone right now. He's bringing me a mocha, but then there's part of me that's like, hurry up, I need to start this. I don't want to be here until the wee hours of the night. On top of this door, fingers crossed, the hinge areas line up. I'll pick the best of the 6 hinges and I'll screw them back in, and then that way, oh, well, boom. And then you're probably like, well, what the hell are you gonna do with the legs? Don't worry, I've thought of it. I've thought of it all. I don't know if any of my ideas will work, but I do have backup plans to all of my ideas. So, no Davis just yet. But the minute he walks in, I'm gonna make him help me lift that and put it on top of here. Okay, so Davis finally came home with my mocha and he helped me lift this door on top of the other door. Now, here's the situation. Because the hinge has this little ball thing, the doors cannot lay flush on top of each other because you need to accommodate this little hinge. So there needs to be a gap in between the doors that's at least the width of this hinge. So my plan is, you know the little foot kick weather strip thing that we got off the bottom of the door? What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it and I'm going to place it on the corners, the 4 corners of the door that is underneath, so that it keeps the doors a gap apart this wide. So these will have to be strategically placed. So here's my little thing. It is 33 inches long, which technically doesn't really matter all that much. So I'm gonna have my jigsaw and I'm gonna angle cut it here and angle cut it here, 6 inches. So I'm gonna cut 4 pieces at 6 inches. and then we're gonna use the old screws. We're recycling everything. Do you see where we're going? So I'm just gonna make marks at 6 inches, and cut 4 out at 6. 6 times 4 is 24, so that's perfect because this is 33 inches long. 6 inches here, 12 inches here, 18, 24. And then, whoops. And then I'm just gonna use my jigsaw and we're gonna cut it. And I'm gonna use my table as my sawhorse. I'm not gonna worry about being super duper precise about it because I'm gonna miter, or technically not miter cut, but I'm gonna miter cut with my jigsaw. And a little left over just in case I want to put like a little piece here and a little piece here. Because I didn't want to have to call Davis back out here to take the door off and move the door back on, I just slid this one a little bit to expose this edge of the bottom table. I have my little piece. I'm going to put the top edge to the edges of the door, and then I know I can slice that off. And so I'm just going to use the old rusty screws. I'm going to put 2 in each. I should technically pre-drill, but we're gonna see if I have to. The reason why we should pre-drill is because this wood is pretty thin and we could risk splitting it if we don't pre-drill. But let's see. That's the lazy person in me. We'll go slow. Yeah, we split it. We split it. We get a pre-drill. Okay, no worries. I have another drill. Look at this. We just need a drill bit that is similar to the width of the screw. Take 2. Now I know I already started splitting that side, but I'm not doing anything about it. I'm just gonna drill it. Ooh, yay, that was good. Okay, now for the part I already split. No! It split all the way. Uh-oh. That's okay. We'll just take it out and use another one. So I took out my broken piece and I put a different piece on and I drilled it and I put screws in it. So now I want to trim off the edges so that it is even with the table. I'm going to line my blade up with the edge of the door and I'm going to just cut this. Perfect. Now let's do this side. Move, door. Oh my God, they're so heavy. Perfect. So you see where I'm going now? And now this, when I have it on all 4 corners, will hold this door up enough to give the hinges some clearance. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the 3 more corners in. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I have all my 4 corner braces on and I have the doors sitting right on top of each other. While the 4 corners are lifted, the middle of the door is kind of, but I can tell that the gap is super good, super good, super good, and then it gets narrower as we get to the middle. So I think I'm gonna take this extra strip and put 1 on each side of the hinge and then 1 in the middle of where like the doorknobs would be. That way we're supported equally all the way around. So what I decided to do was an 8-inch piece in between the door handles, a 4-inch piece on this side of the middle hinge, and a 4-inch piece on this side of the middle hinge. And these are just gonna be straight line cuts because they're going straight. So, you know the drill. We are going to pre-drill. On my 8-inch piece, I just need to pre-drill 1 because there's already 1 there, and then screw in, and then same thing, pre-drill and screw in, and then we'll be super stable. Okay, so I feel like everything's coming together really nicely. I have a nice gap all the way around to accommodate my hinge. Oh yeah, it's dare I say perfect. I don't want to jinx us or anything, but I think we're doing pretty good. So now the plan is I'm going to take the hinges and I'm going to put them back on. And then too, I just envisioned, because now there's a gap, how many bugs and spiders are going to get in between the 2 pieces of glass. Okay, it adds to the ambiance. I mean, it's not like we can't flip open the door and clean it and then close the door back up. But yeah, that's one thing to consider. But so far I'm really loving it, so I don't care if bugs and spiders get in between the glass because this is pretty badass. Okay, so do you see what I mean? There's a gap right here. That gap is going to accommodate the hinge. This door, for some reason, they just notched a rectangle. In this door, they notched the curve of the hinge so that it sits flush. But if I put it here, then I have hinge sticking up here, which I do not want. So I need to knock out this little lip, chisel, so that this sits flush top and bottom. And then in order to chisel it out, I'm literally gonna use a screwdriver and a hammer and hope that works. And see, I might have to go in this way first so that I don't break apart the whole door. In reality, we'd want a blade, and maybe I have one. Score it with a blade first, maybe? Because I chiseled it, but then I was ripping this part of the door. So let's find a blade to score it. Well, I know I have 8,000 blades, but I couldn't find one of the 8,000 in my cabinet, but I found a hacksaw. So let's just go like that. Oh yeah, perfect. So I've made 2 score lines here, and now when I chisel this little wood away, it should not break past my score lines. Oh, look at that. That's good. So now when I take my hinge, I can split the difference and it'll be flush on the top and the bottom. See? So now I just need to chisel the other 2, then we can put our hinges on. Okay, so when I took apart each of these doors, each door had one of these like cute little just free swinging hinges, and then 2 of these super hard like spring activated hinges. I don't like these. They're really hard. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna use the 2 Cutie Pie non-spring ones on the ends, and then, because you know I wanna reuse everything, one of the spring-loaded ones in the middle. And plus the like spring is like so rusted. I don't want to use this one, but we got to. Now, I will not be able to use the holes that are already in the door because we have moved our hinge. I'm just gonna pop some, we're gonna pre-drill and then screw. And I'm kind of wondering, do I really have to pre-drill? Let's see. I'm on this end. You can see the gap. I want to make sure that I've got my very top edge of my hinge lined up with the top of my table. I'm not super concerned if the bottom of my hinge hangs lower because this is the bottom. Like so, I want to go ahead and try to screw in like a holder screw to see if I have to pre-drill or not. Oh, I don't think I have to pre-drill at all. Bam! Ha-ha! Okay, good. And you're getting my back. I get it. I get you're getting nothing, but I have to be able to press. Yay. There's 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, but for now I'm just gonna do 2 and 2 in case this whole thing does not work out. We're gonna test it before we screw everything together, because that's us thinking ahead that it might not necessarily work out. Perfect. That is secure. Okay. So here we are, 2 screws in the top and bottom of each of the hinges. Now I'm gonna test my theory. I'm gonna go grab Davis and we're gonna see if this thing actually opens. Yeah. It's the moment of truth. I brought Davis out because I don't have a leg yet, so there's nothing I can flip it to. Cause see, I have the hinges on and I have my spacers that worked out really, really well. So we're actually gonna see if it opens how I planned in my mind. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Be very gentle and be prepared for it to just rip apart. Oh! It looks so good!
Very cool.
Oh my god, this looks amazing. And so then there obviously will have a leg on this side to support this one, but
I'm like barely holding.
Okay, it's good. I think our hinges are good. Let's close it. And see, I put a little stopper right there. Boom. And then you want to know what's even cuter? I'm going to reuse the door handle. So that's how we're going to pull it. It looks really good.
Yes, it does.
I know. You don't have to tell me twice. I know my shit looks good. I'm just so excited that it works. So I'm gonna finish, because I didn't screw all the screws in, and then we have to address what's happening with the legs.
That was my question. How are you gonna get legs on this?
Well, I like the look of the sawhorses. I believe it's the Lowe's or the Home Depot. One of them, I'm sure both of them actually, sell pre-made wooden sawhorses already, and I think they're pretty cheap.
And then you can have one in the middle that you
and
can
then slide out. This looks, let's open it one more time.
Okay.
I mean, it's heavy, definitely durable.
Yeah.
And it won't be open all the time, so I'm not that concerned with like the stress on the hinges.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the time it will be closed. But picture like 4th of July with all the food and the barbecue, and then people still being able to sit.
Platform.
I know. It's 68 inches across.
Very cool.
So cute. Let's close it. Ugh. Yeah, if I had a giant dining room, Christmas dinner,
On this bad boy?
for sure.
For sure.
Once again, something in my head worked out. Okay, we're not across the finish line yet. We still have to work out the legs. These sawhorses are plastic, but I like the way it looks. I'm trying to remember what they look like, and if they're like cheesy looking, I'm not gonna go for it, and then I might just make my own legs. But why I was thinking sawhorses is because since we stacked these 2 doors, just the tabletop itself is heavy. So I was just thinking for myself, for like ease of moving it, having 3 separate pieces, 2 legs and a tabletop. We're gonna peruse the Home Depot and possibly the Lowe's and see what we think. I love this table. I love this table. And the fact that we made it open up into a gigantic table, I think that that's badass. We're amazing. And you know what else I was thinking? You know how I start. If you found one door, and let's say you didn't want to make a table, do you remember the pallet mirror we made? I was looking at this when it was laying out, and I was like, oh my God, the insert of this glass would be perfect for a mirror. So you could make a freestanding mirror out of a door like this if you didn't want to make a table. I have a feeling you can turn glass into mirror. I think it's a film that you put on the back side, but if it were me, I would just go get a piece of glass cut to fit right in here, and then I would just glue it right onto the glass, and then I'd stand it up on my floor and have it be a mirror, and I'd leave door handles in, and I think that that would be so cute. Makes me want to get another door so I can make a floor standing mirror out of a door. The only other thing I was wondering is how sturdy that glass is, because I have this big terracotta pot of succulents that is right now on my table, and I don't know it's gonna go there. But for now, let's just focus. Focus, Sheri. Screwing in the screws, heading over to the Home Depot, figuring out the leg situation, because at least then that will give us like a finished table. Okay, I am so excited because yesterday I headed on over to the Lowe's to price some sawhorses, and pre-made sawhorses at the Lowe's cost $21.95 each. And I said, oh, hail to the no, because I need 4. And I wasn't about to spend 85 bucks plus tax on sawhorses when so far I've spent 0 on this table. So I found these heavy duty sawhorse brackets. These puppies were $7 a pack. And so then all I had to buy was 2x4 wood for the legs, and because I just redid my deck in the backyard, I have a bunch of 2x6s that I'm gonna use for the top and then use 2x4s for the legs. Guess how much I spent? $45 for 4 sawhorses. So I saved 40 bucks. And all we have to do is whip out the chop saw, take 2 seconds, make some sawhorses, and we'll be done. I think that's pretty good. I did some measuring on my current table that is out there. The top of the table is 30 inches high from the ground to the very top of the table. So I want the top of this table to be 30 inches high. This table is pretty thick because it's 2 doors. So this table is 4 inches thick. So this is gonna go in here. Boom, like that. 1 leg, 1 leg. And then this piece will sit in here. So here's what I figured out. From the piece of the 2x4 that fits in here, that takes up 4 inches. This plus this is 11 inches. So 11 minus 4 is 7 inches I need to minus off, plus my 4 inches for my thickness of my table. So to figure out my legs, I take 11 minus 30. I would technically need to cut my legs at 19 inches each, but I'm going to cut them at 20 to allow for like the slant and any evening I need to do at the bottom. So we're gonna get the chop saw out and we're gonna cut all of these boards down to 20, and then my cross board, this width of the door, it's 34. So I'm gonna cut these boards at 32. So my little top piece that the doors are gonna sit on is going to be 32 inches long, and then my legs are going to be 20 inches long. Together, all of that is going to get me a leg that sits my table at 30 inches high. Yay, let's get to cutting. Okay, so we're on the garage floor. We're gonna cut some legs with the chop saw, which is very easy. Again, you do not need to be afraid of the chop saw. It's your friend. Just don't put your hand under the blade. We're not stupid, we can figure that out. So I'm going to take my boards that I'm gonna cut for my legs, and I need 4 20-inch long legs per one sawhorse. So I don't even use a pen anymore. I just put my measuring tape on the chop saw, see where the 20 is, line my blade up right with that, take my measuring tape off, and then chop saw. Boom, 1. Slide it on over, measuring tape it, line up the 20, move my measuring tape, and chop. 2. 3. See how fast this is going? Like, it was well worth the saving of $40. I will tell you that right now. Perfect. So now we take these, we shove this into this, and this one into this one, and voila, we have legs. So now, since this board was almost 32, I just need to trim it so that it fits our top. Trimming just a hair. Now, because this is a 2x6, it is wider than my blade. So I have to chop it, and then I have to flip it, and then chop it again. See? There's an inch more. So I just flip it on over, and then just trim it again. Voila. Perfect. Let's put this sawhorse together. Now, I have all my wood pieces cut, and we just need to put together the sawhorse. I've shoved my legs up into the brackets as high as they will go, and you can see there are 2 screw holes on either side. I just have some old screws and my screwdriver. I'm making sure that I'm like nudged up all the way to the top, and then I'm just gonna screw these in. Perfect. Flip it. These legs are not going anywhere. All right, there's one. Now let's do this one. And then we get our little crossbeam piece, and then bam, then you open it, and there's some teeth on these little metal things that grab that, and we have a sawhorse, and it's sturdy. Because a sawhorse is meant to be taken down and put away, they just want you to like not screw this piece into here. However, there are 2 little holes, and because I know I'm never gonna move the 2 sawhorses for the main underneath the table ever, I kind of want to make these a little bit more sturdy, and I'm thinking that I do want to screw them in. But for now, we've made a sawhorse, so I'm gonna make some more, and then we'll be done. So I have made 2 sawhorses where I've screwed everything together. The screwed in sawhorses are going to be my permanent legs for under the table when the table is not folded out. The majority of the time it's gonna look just like this. These ones, I was like, well, where am I gonna store them? Am I gonna put them out? Am I gonna slide them? You guys are gonna die. It's like all turning out, like, I don't wanna jinx it because we're not in the backyard yet, but the reason why I did not screw together my 2 extra sawhorses for when the table opens up is because there is enough of a gap between the 2 doors. I tested it. Look, can you see it? There is a block of wood in here. When you open the door, your extra legs are gonna be stored in here. Some of you might go, that's gross. Why do you wanna do that? You'll see the wood. I don't care. I think it's cool. And I'm gonna stain these legs, and it's like a shadow box for sawhorse legs. I think it's genius, and I'm super excited that it worked out to where I can put it. So the only thing that does not fit in the table are the brackets. So the brackets I'll just have to put like somewhere else. And I brought one of my chairs just to make sure. Why, yes, it's perfect. The sawhorses are definitely under it. I can cross my legs perfectly underneath it, comfortable here, and the arms of my chairs still slide underneath. So that's money. I'm definitely not having like raw wood legs, so I am gonna slap a coat of stain on the legs. And then I can't decide if I wanna stain the tabletop or not. I need to clean everything up. I'm gonna put the handle on. I'm gonna stain the legs, and I also wanna stain the brackets because I don't like them this hideous gray color. So I'm gonna put a brown coat of stain over this, make them look kind of weathery. Hopefully they turn out just like the hinges, because that'll be cute. And then we'll move it to the backyard. That's what I say. Okay, so guys, seriously, once again, I am amazed with ourselves. Wait till you see this. Da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na. Holy shit. Look at it. Let's get it from all angles. I did decide to stain the top of the doors. There's our stained sawhorse legs down there. And I even stained those little gray bracket things. I just slapped stain on them, and the finish turned out so cool. Our door handle. This was a little tricky because there's no room to put like something underneath. So I actually put in this lock thing, but then put washers in through the lock so these screws had something to hang on to. And now it's super sturdy. Inside, look it's like a shadow box table. Those little pieces of wood are all the pieces of wood for our second set of sawhorse legs. So when we open this table up super duper big, we have it all in there. The only thing that did not fit inside the gap between the 2 tables were these little extra numbers, but that's okay because I have a storage place right behind the table to put those, so not too worried about that. You can see there the hinges, and I have my giant potted succulent on the table, which I thought I was a little bit nervous about, but yeah, that glass is strong. It's holding up just fine. So no, really, seriously, the table turned out amazing. And right now we're like, oh my gosh, it's just a normal size dining room table out on the patio for, you know, when weather's nice, we like to eat out here. You know, everybody says that. And then you're like, what? What was that? An impromptu party? A barbecue for a bunch of our friends? What am I gonna do? Wait, I have a table that opens up to twice its effing size. I have done this a couple of times by myself. While cumbersome, not impossible. It is a much nicer when you have a buddy to help you, but I'm home by myself. I send everybody to the grocery store to get the barbecue stuff. So I just kind of hold this open, and then I literally just take the wood pieces out and drop them on the ground. Yep, because I've only got one arm to work with. And look how strong my handle is. Oh, holds the whole weight. So now that my wood pieces are out, I need to build my additional sawhorses. Where are my little pieces? Right here. Now that I have both sawhorses made, I'm gonna open this puppy up. I'm not gonna use the door handle because I can't reach across by myself and do it. So I just take it from the corners and I lift up. Ugh, it's heavy. And then I come right around here to the other side and lay her on down. Bam! Ginormous table. No, seriously, look at how ginormous that is. It's crazy. I need to get more chairs. Perfectly sturdy. The only thing I have not done that I do want to do on the main legs, I do want to get like an elbow or L bracket and actually affix these legs to the bottom, because in real life when I do open it, I am gonna have to shift the skinny table over a little bit and then open it so that the whole big table is centered, and that's just too cumbersome right now because my sawhorse legs are not attached to my actual table. So yeah, it's amazing. I love it so much. And what did it cost us? For the sawhorse legs, what did I spend, like 40 bucks to make those? That wasn't very expensive. I already have this can of stain, but even if you had to go buy a can of stain, I don't think that that's that expensive either. Maybe $10. Doors, free. Hardware, all of the screws that I used, every single thing came from the doors. I did not use new screws. I did not use new hinges, new door handles, nothing. I repurposed every single thing from the doors. Yeah. Let's just say I didn't have the stain and I had to go buy it. So I'd say 50 bucks for a table that even in skinny form comfortably sits 6, and these are pretty big chairs and they all have arms on them. And in big form, well, in my backyard it's still gonna seat 6 because I don't have extra chair. Well, I guess you could pull chairs from like around there. But my plan is that we'd still seat 6, but then one whole side of the table would be left open for like buffet, you know, whatever. I just think it's cool. That's all I'm gonna say, is I just think it's cool. I love the fact, and while I may not even open it that much, the fact that I have the option to is pretty cool, because this is a huge table. I love the fact that the extra pieces for my 2 additional table legs, when I do open it, store right inside the table, and it kind of makes it a cooler look. The glass on that door, the one that's up, something is wrong with it. It's foggy. I tried to clean it. I think it's like in between the 2 panes or something. That doesn't bother me. I was like, well, oh shoot, had I known I wouldn't have been able to clean it, I could have used that door on the bottom, but I kind of dig it. So yeah. All in all, 50 bucks for a ginormous table that easily, I don't know, what are those places? You know, those repurposey places that take shit like this and then they make it and then they sell it to you for $1 million because they think you're a sucker and they think you can't make it yourself, when in reality, you can totally make it yourself, because this was not hard. And even if you just found one door, so just one, you could just make a skinny rectangle table for nothing. You'd only have to buy enough supplies to make 2 sawhorses, so that's like half the price, so 20 bucks. And you'd have a really unique, custom, outdoor patio table that no one else would have and that you made yourself. In reality, I could have done it in a day. Well, at least over the weekend. I kind of stretched it out a little bit because it was damn hot and I put off doing some stuff like staining it because it was too damn hot. But easily started on Saturday, finish it on Sunday. That's easy. It's a very easy project. You could totally do this. Just go find a door. That's all you need. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell because, you know, I don't have to say it anymore. Just ring the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. You know what to do. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.